while we were off these last few days, man. And let's see what he got for us. What's going on with the sponsors, Steph?
Well, it's not looking good.
Hey, it's FYF Sports. We back with another video, man. We got another podcast video. Today, we're going to be speaking on a lot of the drama that's going on in the NBA, and the NBA season hasn't even started back up yet, man.
It's crazy.
You know, so again, we do got a lot of stuff to speak on today. We got a lot of new information to give to you guys. But before we get into all of that information, as we do always, again, we're hoping on a week-to-week and a show-to-show basis that we can get these sponsors updated. So we're going to see what Steph, if he put in some work while we were off these last few days, man. And let's see what he got for us. What's going on with the sponsors, Steph?
Well, it's not looking good, but we're going to stay positive. We're going to keep hope. We're going to keep the faith, and we're going to keep rocking, man.
Okay,
you know
man. Hey, man, we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna keep grinding. We're gonna push out these videos regardless. But again, if you know, we got a whole empty wall right here, man. If you want to be a permanent sponsor, we could put your company logo right here. Again, your logo right here. Be sponsored in every show. We're gonna mention you in the description. So again, if you want some recognition, if you're a SoundCloud rapper, if you got a website, again, if you want to get permanent promotion, man, contact us. We can get you right here on this wall right here. And we can take down Steph's Harry Potter, his Harry Potter plaque, man, so we can get some sponsors up there.
I need that, man.
All right. Hey, but today, man, again, some of the stuff that's been kind of going on in the NBA is based around players wondering if they should actually come back and play, and if they do come back and play, there's been some I would say some hesitation to play inside of that bubble. So
a lot of people wanted to, you know what I'm saying, voice their concerns, you know what I'm saying? And I definitely understand. I mean, it's bigger than me and you. It's bigger than just basketball, you feel me? So yeah, so that's some of the things we want to cover today. Go ahead, take it away, bro.
But you know, the leader of this movement trying to make a change with regards to players who want to play or players who don't want to play inside of this bubble. One of the most outspoken people in this has been Kyrie Irving. He's definitely been outspoken. There was a players meeting with, I hear, over 200 players on a Zoom call speaking with the NBA and Adam Silver about what they expect as far as finishing out this season. But not just finishing out this season, but if they even finish it out. So a lot of players got heavy opposition to it. Kyrie Irving and Dwight Howard have been some of the I would say the two biggest players that have been most outspoken about this publicly. What do you think about that stuff?
Yeah, so we have a lot of players that that's worry and want to fight for what's going on in the world, like the social injustice, racism. We have other players that voicing their concern about families coming to the games, about quarantining. But the biggest thing that I take from this is I agree with Kyrie, man. It's bigger than you and I. It's bigger than just basketball. I'm just gonna read some things that he said. He said, "I don't support going to Orlando. I'm not with the systematic racism and the bullshit. Something smells fishy." He said that he's willing to give up everything he had for social reform. And I feel like that is such a bold and big move from him. To give up, I mean, that just shows you how much he cares about everyone. You know what I'm saying? Just not just black, but whites as well. You know what I'm saying? Like that's huge for him to say. I mean, he's a young player, dominant in the NBA. I understand, he's very outspoken. A lot of certain things he's very misunderstood as well. So I mean, man, like.
I know, and I think, like I said, I think he's not just standing up for the players that are not wanting to play so quickly due to some of the social injustices or even COVID-19, but I think he's also speaking up for the players that do want to play, but they don't want to play inside of such a restricted bubble like that the NBA originally had set up. So originally the NBA had it set up to where they will be in a bubble. Not just them, but their families or whoever they would have coming to watch the game would be restricted to this bubble the entire time they were there playing games in Orlando. And so again, with so many other leagues or sports restarting competition, but we don't see such restrictive actions, I think the players are really in opposition to what the NBA is doing because it does seem a bit overblown. I think they're doing a little bit too much. But again, at the end of the day, when you're dealing with so many team owners and players, you definitely have to consider safety, especially with the COVID-19, because all it takes is for one player to get sick. And if one player gets sick, that could potentially shut the whole thing down. So, and not only that, and I was talking to Ticket TV and some of these other guys, my whole premise on this is, if one player gets sick, what if they are not showing symptoms like Donovan Mitchell? Donovan Mitchell had COVID-19, didn't show any symptoms at all. Same with Rudy Gobert. Neither one of these guys show really any symptoms. The danger is, what if they pass this along to an older coach whose immune system isn't strong, or older referee, those guys out there who work for the NBA, or even just a coworker who's just helping set the stadium up for play. Some of these older people or in their communities aren't, their bodies aren't as resistant to COVID-19 as the younger guys or ours might be. And I think that's where the true danger lies, especially when you look at the situation with Donovan Mitchell. If he never got tested, he could have potentially passed that on to so many people and not even have known it. So I think those are some of the biggest dangers right there that we have to consider.
Right, and I agree with Steven Jackson, what he said. Like, basketball is going to do one thing, and that's going to take attention from the task at hand and what we're trying to accomplish. And I agree with him 100%. No one's going to be worried about what's going on. We're going to be still trying to fight the same fight because everyone's focused on sports. Sports, we all know that's one of the biggest things. That's something that brings us, all together, whether you're racist or not. I mean, it's man, bro, like, this is probably the most touching and heartfelt episode that I probably ever deal with, because I have kids, which and we're still fighting the same fight. They have to grow up in this, in this environment. This been weighing on me for a while. Like I told you, I've been eating and stuff like that because this has been on my mind. It's just crazy, bro. To even think about it. Think about that, bro. I gotta watch my back. I don't know who to trust. You feel what I'm saying? Restaurants that we go to, things that we do, people that we meet. It's hard to trust. You don't know who to trust. We're living in a confused world. You feel what I'm saying? So, and we have players like LeBron who opens schools. He does a lot of things for the community, not just the community, but the world in itself. And he's one of the players which I'm shocked that he's just focused. I'm not going to say 100% he's just focused on playing ball, but I don't think his heart's in the right place when it comes to this.
I don't know. It's hard to say that because I've watched him, so far. He's been one of the players that stepped up, and he's helping out in Georgia with the voter reform. So that's been a big thing. Is again, if blacks in the United States, if we really want to see some of these laws changed with regards to police brutality and policing themselves, we really want to see that change. People got to actually get out and vote. And a big issue going on in Georgia is actual black voters being able to get in and actually vote. So he's helping them reform some things with regards to voting so they can actually get in and vote and get the right people in office who can make change. But you know, but you're gonna have players like that. I saw Lou Williams. He made some posts on social media saying, you know, basketball, we need it. We need to get back to it. And then even Austin Rivers stepped up and said, you know, these are funds. You know, we could be donating portions of our check to some of these causes. You know, these NBA players are making a lot of money. Imagine if you had a lot of these big name NBA players, instead of just losing that money, how about you donating a portion of it where it could actually go to affect some of these communities, like in Georgia or Atlanta or New York or even Chicago, where we need to see major reforms in those cities. So again, you can look at it from both sides, I think.
Yeah, that's the crazy part about it. Like, it's pros and cons to both.
Yeah.
But I just feel like I agree so much with what Steven Jackson and Kyrie saying, that like the people that's trying to hoop, it's like I'm not even trying to hear that. You know what I'm saying? And like, I'm a diehard basketball fan. I want to see some basketball. You know what I'm saying? I want to play my damn self. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, what can you do?
Yeah, that's the big thing, man. It's still a big question mark. But one thing I see the NBA doing is they're still trying to keep that window of opportunity to play still alive. They expanded your rosters, the amount of players you can have on your roster. So if teams do have a number of players who sit out, you may see guys that didn't have an opportunity before get signed to fill out those rosters. So I see the NBA doing this as a way to capitulate to the guys that don't want to play for their own reasons, but then they can also get the guys that do want to play on the court. Because I tell you right now, I know a lot of guys who don't have a contract that if the NBA called right now and said, we need you to fill out our playoff roster, they signing it and they going right now. So again, you have people on both sides of this that can make good arguments as to either play or not to play. I feel like the NBA is doing a good job of just saying, we're not going to penalize you if you don't want to play. They're not going to penalize you, and they're also helping teams out by saying we are expanding the rosters so you can get a few extra players if you need to sign some people to fill out your roster if guys don't want to play. So
yeah, that's a big shout out to Adam Silver, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I rock with him.
Now he definitely has a tough job, man. He has one of the hardest jobs because the players union in the NBA has a lot of say so on how things go. A lot of leagues don't have that. A lot of those NFL, baseball, MMA, these sports don't really have strong players unions where the players or the athletes actually have a large say so in what goes on. You know, when you're dealing with MMA, you know, Dana White's just telling those guys to go out and fight, and they got to go out and fight. They don't have really any say so in if they go out and fight or not. They just have to go. And so same with NFL, you know, if they don't want to play, like an NFL player can't just up and say, I don't want to play. Well, they don't got those non-guaranteed contracts. Regardless of who you are, they can let you go just like that, and they don't owe you a dime. So, man, I like what Adam Silver's doing. He has to, you know, he has the hardest job in all this because he's right in the middle. And he can't really take a side. He has to try to keep everyone happy. And, you know, although we are going through some tough times, I personally feel that playing sports is a way to not just get the message out there about these social issues that we want to speak on, or even health issues that we want to speak in with COVID-19. I just think it's a good way for us to just kind of relax, take our minds away from this, if it's just for an hour or two, just so we can kind of get our thoughts together and enjoy life for a little bit, because it's been a hectic year, 2020. It's been crazy.
Man, it's crazy, bro. And like, man, we still got some more to go. You feel what I'm saying?
Man.
But Adam Silver, he definitely, implemented himself as an intricate piece in the NBA, bro. I mean, could you just imagine, like, some of the other owners, like NFL, what is his name? I can't even think of the guy's name, but could you just imagine someone different being being over the NBA? That's crazy. That sees things from a different point of view.
Yeah.
Like, how would the NBA be shaped? How would I don't know. I mean, it's just much respect to Adam Silver.
Well, and I think the job gets even tougher, because if you want to get more technical about it, I think Adam Silver has to worry about the fact that if they don't play this season out and they lose all that money, the NBA has an option to tear up the current CBA agreement, and it could potentially cause a lockout going into next season. And so And that's if they lose all this money. So I feel like Adam Silver's in a position where we can play this season out. We can recoup some of this lost income. We can maintain the current CBA for next year and not worry about a lockout. Or he can not finish this season out and then not playing next season is now a real threat. It's actually something that could really happen because now they have to tear up the old CBA. They have to renegotiate a new agreement because of the money involved. It's not going to be the same. The profit margins aren't going to be the same. So the salary caps are going to drop. The profit shares are going to have to change. So he has a lot on his plate to consider right now because it's a lot at stake. And again, he's just in a tough position. So, but I definitely respect how the NBA has been dealing with their players. For the most part, over the last, with him, David Stern, and Adam Silver combined, the NBA's probably been one of the best leagues, ran worldwide with regards to how they treat their players and how they pay their players. So, again, I think at the end of the day, they're going to come up with something that works for everybody. What you got to end this, Steph?
Oh man, the same old man. Like, I appreciate everybody. I appreciate the love and support that we are getting. It has been, shocking and overwhelming. But I am, very appreciative of it. You know what I'm saying? Keep doing what you guys doing. Keep rocking with us. We're gonna make sure that we rock with you guys right back.
Yeah, definitely, man. You guys, man, the support, man, has been crazy. Like I said, we didn't estimate we would get to, we didn't think we would get to 2,000 subscribers, maybe 6 months.
So fast.
And you guys have helped us get to 2,000 subscribers, in less than a month. So, again, that's a testament to that. Again, I appreciate Steph for always stepping in, willing to get these topics recorded, and we can speak on these issues. And again, we appreciate you guys for coming and consistently watching these videos. Again, we see you in the comments. We see that you appreciate the content. We definitely gonna keep it coming, man. But
just one more thing. I'm sorry.
No, you good. You good.
So I appreciate all the subscribers, but what I would love the most is your comments.
Yes.
Your feedback.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's not just gonna help. It's going to help us out a lot. You know what I'm saying? We need that. That's one of the biggest parts that keep us going as well. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's, good or bad. You know what I'm saying? All the, constructive criticism, man. I myself, you know what I'm saying? I love it. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The comments is a big thing because the comments help us get a better understanding of what you guys actually want to see. And so if we can get an understanding of what you guys want to see, if you guys want us to talk about anything, whether it's on the court, whether it's off the court, man, again, that's what we do here at FYF Sports. We talk about anything sports related, and if it's not sports related and we got to speak on it, we'll speak on it. So make sure you're hitting us up on Twitter, Instagram, in our DMs. Also, comment on these videos, like the videos, and again, we're going to keep this content coming for you guys. As we wrap this show up, man, we gotta most definitely introduce, man. We gotta introduce a new homie to the show, man. This man begged to get on the show, man. He really wanted to roll, and for whatever reason, he just don't say much. But he's smooth, but he I just don't think he got it all. He ain't there all the way. So, but he's here, we're going to introduce him. This is FYF Fred, man. Fred, make sure you introduce yourself. Fred, you got anything to say, man? All right, man. Fred really ain't talking right now, but I tell you, man, Fred is not talking now. But I guarantee you, when he has an opinion on something, he's going to let you know. I promise you that. So, again, we ain't really hitting no hot topics for Fred to really go out, but Fred will snap on you if you say something crazy, man. So, I don't know. We got some crazy topics to speak on later, so I don't know. We might have Fred going crazy in this thing. But other than that, man, we appreciate y'all. Appreciate the support, man. It's definitely FYF Sports, and we out of here.